Trump's reconciliation bill, neither big nor beautiful, throws millions into poverty, from tax hikes and Medicare cuts to stealthy policy changes. It will balloon the national debt and goes further than any budget ever has in investing in a secret police force to expand Trump's immigration powers, the largest mass deportation of non-white people in America. Military personnel now guard detention facilities where desperate people resort to drinking from toilets. Legal immigrants vanish into detention systems with no legal recourse. And yet, instead of sounding the alarm over authoritarian overreach, the media continues to report on this regime like it's a legitimate administration, rather than a fascist coup. The same figures who champion norms and institutions now fall silent as those very frameworks are dismantled. They ignore the deployment of Marines for domestic policing. They look the other way as ICE agents, emboldened by quotas and discretionary authority, arrest bystanders simply because they're in the wrong place at the wrong time. Congress has authorized an immigration enforcement apparatus so vast it would rank among the world's largest militaries. ICE is now backed by $150 billion in funding through 2029, surpassing the defense budgets of major allied nations. This is not mere border control. This is the infrastructure build-out of a state security regime. Leaked internal directives underscore the agency's strategy. Arrest quotas, racial profiling, and wide discretion to apprehend so-called collaterals, bystanders who are neither wanted nor suspected of any crime. A senior ICE official even encouraged agents to turn the creative knob up to 11, normalizing constitutional violations in the name of efficiency, with a daily target set at 3,000 arrests. And that's just for now. Legal process and individual rights have become bureaucratic inconveniences in contravention of not just US but international law. Federal troops now stand guard at detention centers in states like Florida. The deployment is framed as administrative support, with the military supposedly barred from direct interaction with detainees, but the optics are very different. Armed Marines overseeing facilities where immigrants are locked away without legal clarity or constitutional safeguards. It's not just about people getting in, it's about stopping people from getting out. Despite the fact the Constitution bars the military involvement in domestic law enforcement, that has been effectively nullified now through euphemism. While the Pentagon insists that troops aren't engaging in enforcement, their presence alone sends a chilling message about the direction of American governance. Real lives are being shattered under this system. In Los Angeles, families descend stairwells into federal buildings, pressing buzzers outside underground garages to inquire about their loved ones who have vanished into custody. The scenes resemble dystopian fiction, except they're unfolding in the US right now. This is not policy mismanagement. This is deliberate. A system that treats legality and citizenship as optional, a regime that prioritizes arrest statistics over human rights. Congress's funding includes nearly 20,000 new federal agents. These individuals won't be career professionals hired for legal competence or institutional loyalty. They'll be chosen for their ideological alignment with a political agenda that sees due process as a hindrance. Under the Trump and Stephen Miller framework, loyalty to individuals supersedes fidelity to the Constitution. This ideological vetting has already hollowed out the Justice Department and Department of Homeland Security. Soon it'll govern who carries handcuffs and guns in the name of federal law enforcement. It is literally the Wild West. What happens when tens of thousands of armed agents are selected not for their competence but for their enthusiasm for unchecked enforcement? The violations we see now, indiscriminate arrests, the erosion of due process will no longer be anomalies. They will become standard operating procedure. And while these realities unfold, the media fixates on irrelevancies. Trump's open declarations of hatred towards political opponents, his threats to dismantle federal departments, his amplification of conspiracies. These are barely footnotes in stories framed as campaign coverage. The framing is euphemistic, victory laps, political messaging, base mobilization. Outlets like the New York Times analyze progressive candidates' college forms with more scrutiny than they apply to executive branch abuses of power. This isn't journalistic neutrality, it's normalization. It instructs the public to view authoritarian threats as typical partisan jockeying. Self-identified moderates claim to fear extremism, but their silence about the growing machinery of state terror speaks louder. They call for civility while condoning militarized enforcement. They warn against divisive rhetoric while families are torn apart by secret deportations. They panic at the prospect of municipal rent control, but yawn at the deployment of Marines. Their concern for democratic norms ends where economic power might be redistributed. They tolerate authoritarianism for as long as it preserves elite comfort. ICE's rapid expansion is not a prelude, it is the present. The infrastructure is funded, the personnel are in place, the mission is clear. What we are witnessing now, the arrests based on appearance, the military presence, the ideological vetting, is the floor, not the ceiling. Moderates who treat this escalation as partisan dispute aren't defenders of democracy, they are enablers of a system that views constitutional protections as optional and human dignity as expendable. This isn't about security or immigration reform, it's about whether we continue to pretend that this is business as usual, or whether we will acknowledge that a domestic police state is being constructed in real time with bipartisan funding, military backing, and media complacency. Independent media has never been more important as now. Please subscribe, join this channel, join the Patreon, and most importantly, share these videos so that accurate information can be learned by those who, unfortunately, still trust the corporate media to do the right thing. We must name what we are seeing, not because it's easy, but because it is true. I'm Anthony Davis. You can find me on the 5 Minute News YouTube channel and podcast, on Wednesdays co-hosting Uncovered, and on Sunday on The Weekend Show with MeidasTouch.
The truth is more important than ever. Check out our new Truth Over Lies collection at store.meidastouch.com. All 100% USA union made.